Our healthcare system is really screwed up. My blood got boiling early this morning. I read healthcare premiums are soaring, even as inflation eases, in the Wall Street Journal. Costs are spiraling out of control. The truth is, America's healthcare system is broken for all its customers. What other goods or services do you pay for? There's no menu, no price list, and no deliverables with measurable KPIs for accountability. I get angry thinking about that. Let's start with this chart. Premiums for family coverage have been climbing at a crazy rate, 7.5% annually. That's more appalling than college tuition, which is growing about 5% every year. Yes, the Journal does a wonderful job showing us how giant companies pick up a lot of that premium for their employees. Most Americans don't work at giant companies, so it's small businesses like Cardiff and our employees who are getting hit the hardest. Imagine paying more than $2,000 a month, 25 grand a year, just to cover your family's healthcare premiums. Then if something does happen, like my toddler breaks an arm, God forbid, you're still responsible for $5,000 out of pocket before that fancy insurance company ever steps in to pay $1. It's a clown show. Been to the ER lately? All the physicians are contractors and bill you separately with magically made up numbers that vary doctor to doctor. So is a Canadian or British or German system better? I would argue all these options are better for the average American. And this doesn't preclude me or you from seeking private options. Good. I'm going to hear all about government control and the deficit. Fantastic. There's been plenty of time to let that market figure it out. Massive, huge fail. Now, let Elon Musk take a look at the government's books. Maybe he'll find $1 trillion or $2 trillion that can be diverted to fix this. Send some Tesla and SpaceX employees on sabbatical, and they'll work on this issue. I bet we'll be in a better place. Our doctors are fragmented, frazzled, held to no key performance indicators, and nobody gives a shit about me unless I tell them something hurts or ask for tests. This hurts the poorest and fattest among us disproportionately. The folks picking up 6 burgers and 3 giant red bags of Skittles after their minimum wage shift is over, then they're stuffing themselves. They're not regularly going to see any doctors or ever seeing the inside of a gym. Nobody cares about them, and they'll end up costing all of us and our system billions. How does that happen? It's insane. All right. I'm done ranting. Let's talk about how we can apply the concept of investing by walking around to the healthcare theme, kind of like we did with air conditioners in the last segment. From an investment perspective, healthcare is the 3rd largest sector in the S&P 500. It's 11.5% of the index, roughly the same size as financials, banks, insurance companies, etc. Good one to own because defensive properties help it to stabilize our portfolios during bear markets. Companies like United Healthcare, UNH, and HCA Healthcare, HCA, have been fantastic investments. UNH is America's largest health insurer, and HCA is our biggest hospital chain. These guys are up right around 200% in 5 years. Hospital bills are rising dramatically. That's a good thing for HCA, not a good thing for small businesses squeezed by healthcare subsidies for employees. Now, for individuals, out-of-pocket costs are rising fast. Even with these enormous premiums, people are paying more out-of-pocket and receiving less in return. Let's quickly look at the pharmaceutical giants too. Merck, MRK, Pfizer, PFE, AbbVie, ABBV. They have not performed well for investors for the last 5 years or more. In my opinion, this is a tough group to pick if you're an individual investor and not a professional. Every pitch I see about the next amazing drug discovery is littered with the greatest PhDs you've ever seen. Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Princeton. Only a tiny fraction of them will ever succeed. And how? A lot of them get lucky. They're looking for one thing and they end up finding something else. Today's hottest drug is the GLP-1 inhibitor. And what companies are leading that charge? Eli Lilly, LLY, and Novo Nordisk, ticker NVO. They're leading that revolution with drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro. I bet you know a few people on them. Very popular. Diabetes fighters have turned fat burners. That makes them massive winners. 3 to 6x returns for investors in 5 years. What's the takeaway here? If you end up in the hospital or doctor's office, you're gonna get screwed. Keep some healthy healthcare exposure in your portfolio using individual stocks or ETFs. I don't care. At least until Elon fixes everything for us. The system isn't designed with the customer in mind, just profits. It's okay for us as investors, but it has zero accountability and it disproportionately hurts the least fortunate among us. And that should make all of us angry.